Good morning. Thank you for joining me in this morning mindfulness practice. Yesterday, I talked about the importance of gratitude in changing your life, in having whatever you want come to you. Your life is richly blessed, but you have to notice it. You have to pay attention. You have to become aware. You were created perfectly. And then throughout your life, things have piled up to dim your light in order to become the person that you're meant to be, to have what you want, to experience the life that you're meant to. It's all about expectation and awareness. The whole universe is for expansion and fuller expression. You wanting more is not selfish, it's a natural, normal progression of how everything changes and grows and develops. In order for you to receive your good, you must be open to it. Think about the words that you speak. Words are very powerful. If your thoughts create things, imagine your words are 10 times more powerful, and the words that you speak cast a spell over your life. Your words become what you experience. Catch yourself when you're saying, I'm tired, I'm exhausted, I'm feeling terrible, I'm ill, I can't do anything right. Those words become your experience. Switch it up. Say, I love life and life loves me. When you're about to face a task, maybe you expect it to be challenging and difficult. Say, this is simple, this is easy, this is fun. And of course it's going to sound like a lie. It's going to feel like a lie. But when you tell yourself a lie often enough, you believe it. It becomes the truth for you. So instead of saying, "Oh, I can't do this. Life is hard. This sucks," say what you want. See if you can turn your life around by turning your words. There's a different resonance in the frequency of words. There's a frequency to words like worry, doubt, fear, anxiety. There's a difference in the frequency of well-being, faith, ease, flow, love. You might look up the research that was done. Masimoto had jars of water and had people speak words just to that jar of water. Words like, I hate you, you're a terrible person. And then other jars of water, he had people speak love. I love you so much. I care about you. You're the best thing that's ever happened. And then he froze those jars, and the crystals of water in the ones that were spoken with love were beautiful images. And the other ones looked terrible, like in a horror movie. Your words matter. Your words become matter. Everything in this world is energy, and at a lower vibration, it turns to matter. So when you think about everything being energetic and everything changing and transforming, think about what you would transform. What would you prefer? Start to speak life into it. Start to speak about life the way you desire it. Talk about what you really want, not necessarily to other people, but to yourself. There's so many different forms of meditation. You don't have to sit quietly for a half a day like a monk would do. You could do a walking meditation. While you're walking, just tell yourself over and over and over, you're so awesome. You were perfectly made. You're God's highest form of creation. I love you. My life is awesome. I see examples of the good in my life. Everything comes to me in the right time, in the right place. I'm always in the right place at the right time for the right reason. Opportunities show up from expected and unexpected ways. This is so much fun. Life is an exciting ride. What if you just practice that this weekend? Talk to yourself about the wonders of the world, what you're grateful for, and what you would love to bring into your life. Talk about it as if it's here, it's now, it's a done deal. Whatever you think about, you bring about, and if you add words to it, it's guaranteed to come into your life. Bob Proctor taught me that. If you write down something that you truly desire on a card and you carry it with you, it must happen because that's where your awareness is. You're looking for things that match that goal. Your subconscious mind is always working in the background. Write down something that you desire and believe it's possible. If it's possible to happen in this world, if you've seen it happen for another person, if it's something you truly desire, it must become part of your experience. That's how everything happens. What you focus on grows. So why not write something down that you truly desire, carry it with you in your purse, in your pocket, look to it all the time. You might start out in the day by writing a gratitude list or writing out a goal that you really want to accomplish. And then maybe on your coffee break or a couple hours from now, look at it and write about it and talk about it to yourself. Just sit quietly and imagine what life would be like if this was your physical reality. And knowing that as you think, you get into a state of being, you get into an energetic vibration, you can feel what you're thinking about. Your feelings are your conscious awareness of what you've been thinking. If you're not feeling that great, choose to change your thinking patterns. Thinking patterns can be changed, but it takes effort. It takes conscious awareness. It takes practice rather than just letting your thoughts go on over and over and over, talking about what you don't want. Catch yourself and go in the other direction. I'm so happy and grateful. I am feeling wonderful. My life is getting better and better. I am learning how to turn my thoughts into the things that I truly desire instead of letting them run rampant and go wherever they go and bring whatever happens. choose that you're going to direct your thought energy. Maybe on your lunch break, or between tasks, or a break in the day, you write your goal another 10 times. This is where I'm going. This is what I want. You start practicing going in the direction that you desire. There's going to be times where you feel like there's a blank slate. You don't know what's next. You're in the middle of a forest. You decide what you want and take one step. Sometimes the path opens up and you know exactly where you're going. And sometimes it feels a bit scary, but you're onto something different. You're onto something that you've never done before. Trust your intuition. Trust that as you try something else, whether you fail or succeed, it's different. And that means you're going to get a different reaction from the universe. You do something different, you're going to see a different result. Notice what you do on repeat. Is it taking you in the direction of your desired life? Maybe after supper, you write down the goal that you wish to attain another 10 times, because life gets in the way. Things happen. The momentum of your previous thoughts, feelings, and actions are continuing in the direction maybe that you don't want. So it's going to take a little more effort to practice writing down what you do want and focusing on how that feels now that it's accomplished. Getting yourself into a higher vibrational energy that matches what you say you really desire. If it's a deep desire and it's planted in your heart, sometimes you have to remind your mind, that's what we want, that's where we're going. It takes practice. It takes focusing your energy. It takes repetition. It takes rehearsing what you want instead of letting your mind run rampant in a direction that you don't want. It takes patience and persistence and giving yourself grace. If momentum has built up in a direction that you don't want, it's going to take a little while to slow that momentum down and go in the opposite direction. But if we understand that there is a law of perpetual transmutation of energy, energy is always moving into form and out of form. And you know that's true because the things that happened 200 years ago are not happening now. Something that happened yesterday might be moving into the future. But energy is always moving. Sometimes change is so imperceptibly slow you can't see it, and other times it seems instantaneous. And speaking of instantaneous, look at how much information you have at the touch of a button on your cell phone. That wasn't even invented when I was a child. Life is constantly moving. Everything is transmuting into form and out of form. If you drive down a country road, you can see dilapidated buildings that were once beautiful homes that people built. The cars that we drive today are not the same as 100 years ago. Trust that what you think about, what you speak about, is what you're bringing about into your life. And if you look back at some of the things that have happened to you, those things don't define you. They're things that happened to you, good or bad. It was just part of the experience. In Wallace Wattles' book, The Science of Getting Rich, I'm going to read the summary of The Science of Getting Rich. There is a thinking stuff from which all things are made, and which in its original state permeates, penetrates, and fills the interspaces of the universe. A thought in this substance produces the thing that is imaged by the thought. You can form things in your thought, and by impressing your thought upon formless substance can cause the thing you think about to be created. It's invisible, but it doesn't mean it's not here. Just because you can't see the X-ray waves doesn't mean you don't see the result. There are waves of energy all around. There is music that you can tune into, or you can change the channel and hear talk radio. You can change the channel and hear rock. You can change the channel and hear something totally different, country and Western music. Everything, there is a frequency. You tune into the frequency of what you desire. Think about it, talk about it, pretend that it's already a physical object. What does it look like or feel like, or the experience that you want to have? You put yourself into the frequency, into the vibrational energy that matches what you want. It must move into form. You can write about it, talk about it, think about it before you go to bed. Pretend that it already happened. How grateful would you be going to bed already having accomplished your desire? Wallace Wattles says, in order to do this, you must pass from the competitive to the creative mind. Otherwise, you cannot be in harmony with the formless intelligence, which is always creative and never competitive in spirit. You can come into full harmony with the formless substance by entertaining a lively and sincere sense of gratitude for the blessings it bestows upon you. Gratitude unifies your mind with the thinking mind so that your thoughts are received by the formless substance. You can remain on the creative plane only by uniting yourself with the formless intelligence through a deep and continuous feeling of gratitude. You must form a clear and definite mental image of the things you wish to have, to do, or to become. And you must hold this mental image in your thoughts while being deeply grateful to the Supreme Power for granting you all of your desires. This is visualizing, visioneering, creating an image, and then getting so involved in that image that it feels like it's real. If you wish to get rich, you must spend your leisure hours in contemplating your vision and in earnest thanksgiving that this reality is being given to you. Too much stress cannot be laid on the importance of frequent contemplation of the mental image, coupled with unwavering faith and devout gratitude. This is the process by which the impression is given to the formless substance and the creative forces are set in motion. That's why my mentor Bob Proctor said, constant spaced repetition of thinking and feeling about what you desire. You can't spend 5 minutes studying, praying, meditating, thinking about what you want, and then spend the rest of the day complaining that it's not here. Constant spaced repetition will start the momentum building in your life to create that desire, to create the actual experience of what you desire. Wallace Waddle says the creative energy works through the established channels of natural growth and through present industrial and social order. All that is included in your mental image will surely be brought to you when you follow the instructions and when your faith does not waver. What you want will come to you through the ways of established trade and commerce. You must be active in order to receive your own when it is ready to come to you. So that means you don't just sit and meditate and wish and hope. You take action from the place of already having your goal attained. How would you be acting? Who have you become now that your goal has been attained? You get ideas when you're thinking on that frequency, the thought frequency of it's already finished. Where are you now? Not how am I going to get there, but it's completed. How did we get here? And looking backwards, you can connect the dots, as Steve Jobs said. You must be active in order to receive your own when it is ready to come to you. You must more than fill your present place. You must keep in mind the purpose is to get rich through the realization of your mental image. Now, if you are not necessarily caring about being rich in finances, maybe you want to be rich in loving relationships, rich in love, rich in purposeful work, rich in experiences. What places would you travel to if you had all the time and money and opportunity? What kind of service would you be providing? The opportunities are there. Once you match the frequency of it being completed, all the opportunities will open up for you. You must do every day all that can be done that day, taking care to do each act in a successful manner. You must give to every person a use value in excess of the cash value you receive, so that each transaction makes for more life. And you must hold the advancing thought so that the impression of increase will be communicated to all with whom you come in contact. That's not from telling people you're a good person, that's from showing, giving more value, leaving other people with the impression of increase, leaving everyone you meet better off for just being in your presence, because you are so filled with love, joy, a feeling of service from the heart, smiling, giving beautiful energy out. You know, people who you are just drawn to because they seem so special, so loving, so wonderful, so caring. When you embody that, when you are enthusiastic about life, when you are always looking for ways to be of service, people notice that. You draw to you the people who are in the same vibrational energy that you are. When you imagine filling yourself up with divine spiritual energy, with love, with light, with purpose, with joy, with faith, you can't help but expand your energy. It's almost like you're surrounded by an aura. In fact, you might imagine yourself surrounded by an aura of love, of guidance, of protection. And as that energy expands, it affects everyone around you. It affects people, even if you don't speak to them. It affects other people's energy. They don't know what's going on, but they can feel it. Just like you can feel other people's energy if you want to be near them or far away from them, if you love them or don't want to be in their presence. If you walk into a room, you can feel heavy energy of sadness, powerful energy of anger. You can also feel energy of love and creation. What kind of energy do you fill yourself up with? Do that throughout the day. Notice when you're not feeling great and take the time to fill yourself up with grace, with love, with gratitude. It changes how you live, it changes what comes into your experience. Wallace Waddle says the men and women who practice the foregoing instructions will certainly get rich, and the riches they receive will be in exact proportion to the definiteness of their vision, the fixity of their purpose, the steadiness of their faith, and the depth of their gratitude. You have been created perfectly. You are a spark of divine energy. Keep that fire burning in your heart. Practice filling yourself up, reminding yourself who you are, where you're going, and feeling as if you're already there. Practice that this weekend. Create a wonderful day. Get enthusiastic about life. Enjoy your weekend, and I'll see you back here Monday morning at 7. Thank you.